Hello everybody, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is D-Shine, and today I'm here to talk about this ridiculous narrative that the MCU needs to be saved. Marvel needs saving. Every time, they've been talking about it for a while, and the reason that this has come to my mind is because, like the rest of you guys, I am watching the amazing X-Men 97 animated series. It is lived up to, it is vastly gone beyond all of our expectations. It is everything you want an X-Men project. It is everything you want the X-Men to be. It is everything from the comics to the movies. It's one of the best representations of the X-Men ever produced. It manages to unlikely be greater than its already legendary origins in the 90s animated series, which in of itself was a legendary and great series. And this manages to be even better than that by doing a litany of things. But I'm going to wait until the last episode. I'm going to review the whole series, and I'm going to get into the gritty details of theories and whatnot, and what I think, and why I think this show, why the X-Men animated series is so great. But I'm watching this with everyone. I'm watching it, I'm checking all these different things, and everyone agrees this show is amazing. Everyone agrees this is top-notch shit. Everyone agrees this is one of the best things Marvel's ever made. Marvel Studios has ever made. But the same topic keeps coming up. This is saving the MCU. Oh, this is saving Marvel. As if, and this is the thing that started to bug the fuck out of me, because there is a narrative, and even Kevin Feige and other people were talking about it, Feige was saying how Marvel's kind of an underdog now because of the performances of their last couple movies, mainly Ms. Marvel and Ant-Man, which is what they're talking about, because Guardians performed great, Black Panther performed great, Thor made over 700, so it made its money back and some. Obviously, Doctor Strange almost made $1 billion. So not all the movies have been flopped, but between Ant-Man and Ms. Marvel, mostly the Marvels was a certified bomb, which is crazy to me, especially when I see Godzilla X Kong make 500 mil. I'm like, yo, look, I even gave that movie a great score, but I was like, really? Anywho, so Kevin Feige and everyone's acknowledging it. People have been acknowledging, shit is different. And I will tell you this right off the bat, just right up rip, Marvel has never been in a less positive position in the entirety of its existence, other than the beginning. People forget how rough it was at the beginning. I remember the beginning. I remember those conversations about the first Avengers movie. People forget. I never forget shit. I don't. I never forget certain details like this, because people forget that in the beginning there were articles written about how the Avengers was going to be a bomb, about how this is stupid. I remember the article, Marvel rolls out the B team. That was in an article. I remember that, because at the time, the X-Men movies were getting made, Fantastic Four was getting made, Spider-Man. They were like, Marvel rolls out the B team. I remember it. I remember like it was yesterday. I remember being in school reading that and being pissed, because I'm like, I know how good these Avengers can be. I like all these movies. I think this can work. I remember being angry about it. It's only hindsight now we kind of look back and it's like, oh man, it's amazing, it's this big thing. But it wasn't a guarantee, and not everyone loved everything, obviously. People forget. The first Thor ain't got no 90 on Rotten Tomatoes. The first Thor's got a 70-something, all right? The Incredible Hulk's got I don't even know if the Incredible Hulk's in the 70s, all right? Iron Man 3, Iron Man 2 is considered a bad movie. Iron Man 2's got a 60-something. People forget what shit was happening back in the day, but it's relative. Problem with Marvel today, though, is, and one of them is something they couldn't have predicted. The other is something that I was wrong about. I will admit openly, I was completely wrong about this. You probably could go back to my videos and look at me saying something along the lines about this, but I didn't think Marvel could oversaturate itself. I didn't. I was like, well, it's just more Marvel. I was wrong. The one thing that I was completely wrong about is that the MCU did oversaturate itself. Too many projects, too much exposures, too many movies. And I didn't think that could be a thing, but when you're releasing damn near 4 movies a year and 4 to 5 shows with the logo on it, and they tried to get away with it by having the shows and stuff not all be too interconnected. Like, because in Phase 4 began, and it was very outer connected. Like, the idea of Phase 4 was to kind of basically do Phase 1 over again, basically. It was like, but only with characters we know, but we like disconnect them, and we get to like watch them grow and do their own stories, and then eventually something will bring them back together. Like, that was the idea of Phase 4, but it very quickly became obvious that there's too many projects. People don't want to wait for that shit anymore. You've already let the genie out of the bottle. You've already made everything interconnected. You can't slow it down now. You can't. You can't just slow it down and be like, okay, now we're going to take our time. And no, you can't do that. Not now. And then you oversaturated the market with so many projects that weren't going in the direction that people wanted to go. That, because like Marvel usually, and James Gunn talked about this. You can look it up. James Gunn was talking about how Marvel really, like, they have an outline of a plan, but they don't have like a detailed plan. That's why James Gunn was saying all like, oh, I'm going to have the best plan for the DCU because I'm going to have a detailed laid out plan about how everything's going to go. Because at Marvel, they don't. In Marvel, they always left themselves wiggle room. It's why Ant-Man and the Wasp happened. Ant-Man and the Wasp weren't supposed to happen. Spider-Man Homecoming wasn't planned. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Spider-Man Homecoming weren't planned films. They happened because Marvel left themselves the wiggle room to do such, to you know, do things like that, to maneuver. But thanks to the fact that they started thinking too far ahead, also Bob Chapek, Bob number 2, shit Bob, was pressing Feige to produce more projects for Disney Plus. It was a calculation of things that led to the situation we're in now. But in the end, I was wrong. I didn't think Marvel could oversaturate, and they ended up doing so. But the second thing that fucked Marvel is COVID. Because even though they had all these laid out plans, so much shit. You guys already seen it. So many of the projects had to film differently because they literally couldn't film it. So COVID fucked everything up. But that's a story for another time. This video in particular is here to talk not just about, I just wanted to establish that yes, Marvel is not in the best place right now, financially. They haven't had a movie, this is the first time in a long time they haven't had a movie that was #1 in the world, like, through the year. This is the first time in a long time they didn't have a movie that made over $1 billion. At least one movie made over $1 billion. They haven't had a movie make over $1 billion since, no, they had, unless you count Spider-Man. If you count Spider-Man, they haven't had a movie make over $1 billion since 2019? I think. Yeah, they haven't had a movie make $1 billion since 2019. So Marvel is in this weird, so Marvel is not in the best place right now. Creatively, they've made some of their worst projects with, obviously Secret Invasion and Ant-Man, Quantumania. They made their lowest rated movie and they made their lowest rated show. So they made some of their worst projects. But my problem is that we're so laser focused on the negative. Like, you know what I mean? Like, things aren't great. Or no, things aren't perfect. But we all agree that Shang-Chi was dope. 92%. We all agree that WandaVision was awesome. One of the most creative things Marvel's ever done. We just got done like a few months ago gushing about how amazing Loki season 2 was. We just got done talking about how cool what if seasons 1 and 2 were. Like, we did get done going through an emotional wreck of a movie with Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and Black Panther 3. Like, we did just go through that shit, right? Like, it's so weird. Like, it's like they're just like laser focused in on the negatives. By the way, out of all the projects they've done, only 3. Actually, no, I think only 2. Even if you're going to, I'll count the Marvels in there because it bombed at the box office, so that counts too. Out of the 16 or so projects, 3 of them, maybe 16, maybe 17. 3 of them were actual bombs. That's it, just 3. And one of them, and only 2 of them are actual critical bombs. Because technically the Marvels wasn't a critical bomb. It's got like a 65%. It still got, but it did do bad at the box office. It did worse than even I expected it to do at the box office. Like, I thought that movie was going to at least break even, but it did not. And even you got like Chris Hemsworth talking about how he regrets his direction in Thor: Love and Thunder. Well, me and Superwise, we both enjoyed that movie. We both had fun with that movie. And the movie made over $700 million. So it's not like it was a bomb. It's not like it was a flop. It didn't make as much as Ragnarok, but it still made a lot of money. But like, you got Chris Hemsworth talking like the shit was like the shit was like a 17% on Rotten Tomatoes and didn't make any money. Like, it's like Marvel, the bar for Marvel, it's insane. Like, I'm like, dude, every studio would kill to have a franchise like this, to have this kind of shit going on. It's just so interesting, like, cause and also obviously one of the, like, a channel that I love and hate is Screen Crunch. I love him and hate him. I love his videos that he does when he breaks down shit. But man, that guy, I'm like, dude, do you realize how often people are saying, oh, this is gonna say, because now people are talking about the X-Men 97 series, like Marvel Studios didn't make that too. Like, what the fuck? Like, Kevin Feige's name pops up across it. Like, why are we talking like they didn't make this? It's because I remember I was talking to one guy and he's like, the narrative that like everything good, whatever. Everything bad, that's what the representation of Marvel is. I'm like, damn, it's supposed to be how DC felt with Zack Snyder. But anyways, I just think it's a bit ridiculous that every time Marvel has a good project, it's gonna save Marvel. They have a project, this is why Marvel's going down the tank. This is the fall of the... Let me calm the fuck down, first of all. Like, jeez, it's not one way or the other. Marvel's on the rocks. They're picking themselves back up. They're doing different things. They're stepping back. I'm a little nervous about the whole, we're not going to take too many creative swing things. We'll see how that goes. But other than that, how do you guys feel? Do you guys feel the way I feel? Or do you feel like, yes, Marvel does need to be saved? Because I do see things aren't great. But we just, like I said, we're just going to ignore everything good. Miss Marvel. I know some people got different opinions. It's the highest rated Marvel project of all time. That happened. You know? Shang-Chi is one of the highest, like Spider-Man, No Way Home happened since fucking Endgame. And it's just like, we're gonna just ignore all the good shit that's happened. We're gonna focus on the bad. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me on Great Movie Show. Please remember to like and subscribe and comment below and let me know. Do you guys feel like me, or do you think it is the end of Marvel? Do you think, like I do, like, calm down. Things are not the best. It ain't brag-worthy right now. They need to get it together, but I believe they will. Anyways, thank you guys again. See you on the next one.